Miss H.
Hi, Danny.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Welcome back, everybody.
We just need to figure out who's going to say it because every time it's like a long pause.
Okay. You say hi first, and then I'll say hi back, and I'll say welcome back. Yes. Okay. Cool. That seems like a good formula. Welcome back, you guys. How are you? Happy December. Happy early Christmas.
Yeah, holy shit. Right?
Oh my god, this is freaking...
This has been like the worst year ever, but like, goodbye.
Yeah,
it's gone.
Literally, the last like 6 months have been like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
So shortest 6 months of my life, but that's okay because fuck this shit.
Yeah,
I am
truly
done with this year. Speaking of being done, did you see that? There's a video going around right now where it's Melania Trump, of course. What other Melania is there? Trump. It's a video of her in the White House, like looking at all the Christmas decorations. But someone put words on top of it. Oh, and it's so funny because she's literally seen it. Oh my god, if I find it I'll send it to you because it's literally just her straight-faced squinting at everything and then like pinching fake snow between her fingers.
Oh my gosh.
And the words are like who the fuck let Mariah Carey in here? Like 50 more days and I'm fucking out. Oh my God. I didn't sign up for this. It's so funny.
Okay, real talk though. Do you think that she's actually gonna fucking like dip soon?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that bitch is miserable.
She's gone. Yeah. Well, yeah, he's awful.
Yeah.
And we've seen the videos. We've talked about our old people sympathy of her just snatching her hand out of his at any possible moment. She's gone. As soon as this is over, she's gone. Yeah. Well, actually, how long have they been married?
I have no idea. I mean, old enough to have Baron.
That's true. Shit, that sucks. I don't know. Maybe she'll stay. I think she's probably going to be out because also think about that alimony.
Yeah, true.
Oh, it'll be high.
Unless they signed a prenup.
Oh, prenup. Oh, shit.
Which I'm absolutely fucking positive they did.
Yeah, they did. You're right. Oh, no, Melania, I'm so sorry, honey.
I mean, I'm not really sorry, but...
I'm a little sorry because, Jesus Christ,
I'm a little sorry, and he's awful, but also...
You did this
show me some redeeming qualities, girlfriend.
Are you kidding me? Really. She's so funny.
She's funny, but like...
That's it.
That's it. There's other funny people in the world that are assholes. So.
Yeah, that's so fair. Anyways, so I think, honestly, I'm just gonna jump right into it. Mm-hmm. So, hello guys.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, we're your...
I'm glad that, like, fucking light bulbed at the same time for both of us.
I am so embarrassed. We are the worst podcast hosts ever, perhaps. Yes, who are we?
We're your hags of Silence of the Hags, guys.
Thanks for putting up for us. And
hopefully you know who we are.
Yeah, even
we
if
sure
we
as
don't.
fuck don't.
Jesus. Also, sorry, I know I said we're gonna start, but just one more thing. Spotify Wrapped is awesome. Obviously, we all know this. I'm salty at myself for not using Spotify for the last year and for some reason sticking with Apple Music. Apple Music, step your shit up. But was it your friend?
Two of my friends.
Two of your friends were
my friend Sarah from Germany. She was like, she like messaged me. She's like, I listen to so many podcasts, and she's like, and you guys are already in my top 5, and you've only been around like since September. I was like, wow, that really warms my heart.
I'm smiling so big.
Yeah, and then one of my other friends as well. We were her top played podcast.
Oh my god, it makes my heart so happy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your support.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And I mean, I don't know you guys, but I love you. And shout out to Sarah and sorry, what was the other friend's name?
Rachel.
Rachel. Shout out to Sarah and Rachel. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And Georgina from my work.
And Georgina.
She didn't send me a screenshot of it, but she told us we were in her top.
Oh my god, thank you, Georgina.
Thank you, Georgina.
If I'm missing anyone else, send me screenshots. I want to see it. I'll give you a shout out. I'll give you one. But yeah, no, real talk. Thank you so much for the support. we really, really appreciate it because we really enjoy this, and we're glad that you guys do too.
Yeah.
Okay, bringing it back.
Who are we talking about?
Today we're going to be talking about Gilbert Paul Jordan.
Gilbert. That's what I was going to name my first guinea pig.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, because our boy Gilby...
Cedric instead.
Cedric is a better name. And Gilbert, awful, terrible person.
Okay.
Like, awful. So, I'm just going to disclaim this here. So, this story sucks. It's not a lighthearted one. And it's going to make you mad at him, obviously, of course, but it's going to make you equally as mad at the Canadian justice system and police officers.
Kind of just like last week, right?
Yeah. But almost, I would say more. Just you wait. Also, another disclaimer. So, there's basically Gilbert Paul Jordan, his targets were sex workers. However, nowhere ever writes sex workers. Everyone always writes prostitutes. So, I went through and made sure everything says sex worker, but if I accidentally say prostitute, call me out, because I don't want that shit. Because
I'll call you out, don't worry.
Thank you.
I got
you. Thank you. So, yeah, I'm just going to get into it and sit back, relax, and enjoy, but maybe don't enjoy, but also enjoy. So, Gilbert Paul Jordan was a Canadian serial killer and former barber who murdered 8 confirmed and with 2 additional possible Indigenous sex workers from 1965 to 1988. He was ultimately arrested on October 23rd, 1987, and he was thought to be responsible for the alcohol murders in which he would force alcohol down his victim's throat after they were incapacitated. He was the first Canadian to use alcohol as a murder weapon. Yeah,
I've actually never heard alcohol being used as a murder weapon.
It's
was he using like liquor or like
99%?
Liquor. Oh, okay.
No, like vodka.
Oh, okay.
This isn't interesting because it's not gory, but it's just like so fucking deeply unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Gilbert Paul Jordan, born Gilbert Paul Elsie, was born December 12th, 1931, a Sag, in Vancouver, Canada.
Shout out.
Yeah, so this is like deep, like hometown, and the fact that me neither, I had no idea who this guy is. No one I mentioned him to has any idea who he is fucking crazy.
Sorry, when was this?
1965 to 1988.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was born in 1931. So, although not much is known about his younger years, we do know that Gilbert had been in and out of trouble with the law his entire life. He was a high school dropout by the age of 16, and his criminal record started in 1952 at the age of 21, with crimes including convictions for rape, indecent assault, abduction, hit and run, drunk driving, and car theft. By 21. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. So,
whoa.
Yeah.
Gilbert.
Yeah.
Simmer down, my
like,
guy.
Buddy, it's
also, that's like the dumbest age of your life. You
yeah.
think you're going to get away with anything? I mean, I guess you're dumb, so.
Oh my god, he's super dumb.
That'll do it.
So, and this is maybe why. So, throughout his life, Gilbert was a well-known alcoholic, having to consume 50 ounces of vodka a day.
Holy shit.
That is 1.4 liters, y'all.
For those of you who don't know what that is 2 venti Starbucks drinks.
Or
iced.
Almost an entire fucking big bottle of pop. Like,
what?
That's
a lot.
Yeah.
That makes me so sad.
Yeah. A day.
That's really sad.
Yeah. So, I couldn't find anything on his parents, just by the way. I did look. I did a lot of research on this because I just found it so horrifying that I had no idea about it. And yeah, I can't find anything about his childhood or his parents. So I don't
Probably
really know what they were like. I was going to say.
If he was born in, 30s?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
He had a penchant for drunk sex, later stating that he would have sex with over 200 sex workers a year. Also, just a reminder, having sex with someone who is drunk cannot consent, and this is rape. So
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Was that rape back then, though? I don't think that would have been rape back then.
No, you're right.
Because I even feel like now that's like people are like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's actually a good call. So I guess by 1950s standards, this is maybe not rape, but
should fucking be.
It is today. Yeah. So he frequented slums and dive bars in Vancouver's notorious downtown east side to find these quote-unquote companions. As he got older, his crimes became more and more heinous. In 1961, police found a 5-year-old missing Indigenous child in his car with him, alive. He was charged with abduction, but was never convicted, and the case ended in a stay of proceedings.
Nice.
He literally abducted a 5-year-old child, and nothing happened. And in 1963, Gilbert lured 2 women into his car with the promise of alcohol. He raped them, and he was, at this point, charged with rape and theft. He was convicted of the theft, but acquitted of the rape charge. Yeah.
Why? For why?
1960s. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. These women were Indigenous.
Yeah.
Horrible as it is, that's it. That's why.
Yeah. For those of you who aren't from Canada, this hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
This issue with...
I would say that it's maybe slightly better.
Yeah, I'll give it like a solid like 5% better.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's about 5% better. I mean, there's a reason, like, even if we look at Willie Picton, there's a reason that he got away with so much. Mm-hmm. So that's basically the background we have on Gilbert. Before we get into the victims and the crimes, I want to lay some facts on you guys about blood alcohol content.
Give it to me. I know nothing about it.
Oh, girl. I got you. Be ready. From now on, I'm not going to be saying blood alcohol content because that is a mouthful. I'm going to be saying BAC.
Back.
Exactly. Or Bach. Bach?
Bach.
So, at 0.02% Bach, this is directly from the government website about blood alcohol content, so like I literally copy and pasted here. This is the lowest level of intoxication with some measurable impact on the brain and body. You'll feel relaxed, experience altered mood, feel a little warmer, and maybe start to make some poor judgments. At 0.05% BAC, your behavior will become exaggerated. You may speak louder and gesture more. You may also begin to lose control of small muscles, like the ability to focus your eyes, so you might be a little bit blurry. Judgment is impaired and coordination is reduced. Tracking objects visually becomes more difficult. Your inhibitions are lowered, causing you to potentially engage in risky behaviors like drunk driving. At 0.08% BAC, this is the current legal limit in Canada, and at this level, it is considered illegal and unsafe to drive.
At 0.08, really?
Yeah, 0.08.
Wow, from all those things you explained, I thought it was going to be like the 0.2.
No,
or 0.02.
No,
wow.
So 0.08. So you'll lose your coordination, your balance, speech, reaction times, and even hearing will get worse. Standing still, focusing on objects, and evading obstacles are all much harder. Reasoning, judgment, self-control, concentration, and memory will be impaired. Short-term memory loss may start. And then just something I put here is to put this into perspective, an adult woman weighing about 150 pounds would have to drink 3 5% beers in less than 1 hour to have a blood alcohol content of 0.08%. At 0.10, so 0.10%, your reaction time and control will be reduced, speech will be slurred, thinking and reasoning are slower, and the ability to coordinate your arms and legs is poor. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's like me anytime I drink with you.
I was going to say that's you after like 2 beers.
Guys, I'm always falling all over Danny. I can't drink without Danny because I will be on the ground.
She will also embarrass herself. I mean, I don't stop her from embarrassing herself.
No, she doesn't at all. That's a story for another time. Maybe we'll do drunk stories as a detour. I got a lot of them, guys, and I drink like once a year. Okay. Anywho, so 0.15%. This blood alcohol content is considered very high. You'll have less control over your balance and voluntary muscles, so walking and talking are difficult. You may fall and hurt yourself. Vomiting may begin. At 0.20 to 0.29%, stupor, confusion, feeling dazed, and disorientation are common. Fuck you, I've never been there.
Stupor, confusion.
Stupor, confusion. Stupor, comma, confusion. So those are all common. Standing and walking may require help as balance and muscle control will have deteriorated significantly. Sensations of pain will change, so if you fall and seriously hurt yourself, you might not notice. And you're less likely to do anything about it. Nausea and vomiting are likely to occur, and the gag reflex will be impaired, which could cause choking or aspirating on vomit.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people choke.
Yeah.
Like, and die. I had no.
Yeah,
I actually
no, it's
didn't
literally,
know that.
yeah, it's literally because your
so much sense.
gag reflex is gone. Blackouts begin at this BAC, so you may participate in events that you don't remember. An adult woman weighing 150 pounds would have to drink 8 5% beers in less than an hour to reach a blood alcohol content of 24%, or 9 1.5 shots of 40% vodka for a 27%.
Wow.
Which is
sorry,
actually...
This is just really proving to me how fucking high my tolerance is.
Oh my god, Danny can drink so much alcohol. It's crazy.
It's all the alcoholics in my family. It's in my blood.
Literally. I swear to God.
It's literally in my genes. Like,
yeah.
It fucking sucks because going out is very expensive.
Yeah, no, she'll literally, like, fucking 7 shots of tequila back to back, and she's like, I'm starting to feel it. I'm like, what the fuck? Also, something interesting about all of this that I'm learning is that, I mean, it takes 8 5% beers to get 24%, or 9 shots of 40% alcohol for a 0.27.
Oh yeah, beer is the one and only time I like almost died drinking was when I drank beer. That's
what
why
about
I
the
don't.
Kraken?
The Kraken, I didn't almost die. I was vomiting, and
Okay.
I was mentally convinced I was gonna die, but
Didn't actually.
I didn't actually like almost choke on my vomit in my sleep and die like I did with beer.
That's probably good.
Yeah.
So from 0.30 to 39% BAC, you will become unconscious involuntarily, and your potential for death increases. Along with the loss of understanding at this BAC, you will also experience severe increases in your heart rate, irregular breathing, and may have a loss of bladder control. Yeah, so you'll probably pee yourself. This is about as drunk as you can get yourself. You can't really get yourself drunker than this on your own.
Yeah. Getting your stomach pumped.
Well, and because you pass out. That's your body's basically its last defense against that. Because guys,
fucking more.
I'm not saying don't drink. As you hear, me and Danny do drink sometimes. But alcohol is literally poison.
Know your limits.
Yeah, and alcohol is literally poison, and you can die if you overdo it. I mean like really overdo it, like 9 shots of vodka in an hour. But for 0.40% blood alcohol content and over may put you in a coma or cause sudden death because your heart or breathing will suddenly stop. Your body will shut down as a final defense. Serious and immediate medical attention is necessary. An adult woman weighing 150 pounds, on average too, I mean everyone's a bit different, but on average, would need to drink 13 shots of vodka in less than an hour to get here. So it's important to know this. You don't have to remember all of that. I just wanted you guys to kind of hear the stages that you get to and kind of like relate to yourself where you've been. Yeah, exactly. And know just how like it's hard to get to 0.40% blood alcohol content. That's not a I got crazy this weekend. Yeah, and it's like it takes like 13 shots. Like that's a lot. So that's just out of the way. Moving on. So we're going to talk about, this is the shitty shit, guys. So Gilbert's first known victim in 1965 was a switchboard operator named Ivy Rose Oswald. He met her at a bar at quote-unquote Skid Row, so downtown east side of Vancouver, and bought her drinks until she was intoxicated enough to go home with him.
Disgusting.
Yeah. She was found naked and dead in a hotel room downtown. Her blood alcohol level was 0.51%.
Holy fuck. Jesus.
Yeah. So although many people knew that he was the last person seen with her, he was never charged as her death was ruled accidental and a result of alcohol poisoning. Never mind that it's literally impossible to give yourself a 0.51% blood alcohol content on your own. Because, like I said, you normally black out around, 3%, 0.35%. And it would be over 20 years before her killer would confess to this. Only days...
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Sorry, that makes me sick.
No, this is a really unsettling case, for sure. Only days after her murder, Gilbert applied to change his last name from Elsie to Jordan in order to leave the accusations and literally murder behind him.
I hate that.
Yeah. So basically, everyone knew that he was the last person with her, but he didn't get charged because it was ruled alcohol poisoning. And so he's like, I'm gonna just fucking change my last name, and then no one will know it was me. And it worked. His application was immediately approved.
Really?
Yeah, immediately. So over the next few years, the newly christened Gilbert Paul Jordan would again run into trouble with the law in different places around BC. In 1971 in Vancouver, he was charged with committing an indecent act in a public place. This charge was dismissed. Basically, he took his dong out. That was his indecent act.
Nice. Not uncommon in Vancouver.
Honestly true.
I've seen too many dicks on the street to
oh my god. I've
list.
seen too many dicks on the SkyTrain.
Yeah.
Oh god. Keep your dicks in your pants, please. So, sorry, this was dismissed. In 1973 in Mackenzie, he was convicted of, again, indecent exposure. And in 1974 in Prince George, he was convicted of indecent assault and sentenced to 2 years in prison.
God, this guy's all over the place.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, though, due to the mind-numbingly easy process of changing his name, none of this was connected to any of his previous crimes. So, his earlier rape convictions, his earlier involvement in someone's death, he changed his name, so they had no idea. Additionally, in 1974, the Crown did apply to have him labeled as a dangerous offender. However, Gilbert had come into a little bit of an inheritance, so he could afford some really good lawyers, which became involved, and the request was denied.
Fuck the rich.
Yeah, eat the rich.
Eat them.
Eat them. Yum, yum. So in 1975, only serving 1 year of his 2-year sentence, he was back on the streets and ready to continue his life. However, this time, rather than meeting in the seedy areas of Vancouver, he just decided to abduct a woman from a local mental institution.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What if it was the one in New West?
I actually think it was. I couldn't find out exactly where it was, but context clues point to that.
I was gonna say, I think it's the only mental institution that I know of. And I mean, it's closed.
And that's when it was open and killing the game, the mental institution game.
Literally
not
killing
a great place. Yeah. So he was caught and charged on several counts that included kidnapping and sexual intercourse with a feeble-minded person.
Nice. Way to go, Gilbert.
Yeah, pretty fancy words for kidnapping and raping someone, but that's whatever. For this crime, he was, again, sentenced to only 2 years, regardless of his previous convictions. During his 2 years in prison, Gilbert decided to better himself. He learned a profession and decided to become a fucking barber. When he was
Sweeney Todd, Jesus.
Dead ass though. If Sweeney Todd was a literal rapist, this guy's perfect. So I actually never made that connection. So thank you for existing.
At the beginning when you said Barber, I was like, is this guy like
Barber
inspired by Sweeney Todd?
Oh my god, right? Yeah, what is it? The Demon Barber of Hastings Street? That could be an episode name. So when he was released, he opened up a shop on the east side of Vancouver, close to Hastings, and also, coincidentally, very close to the bars that he liked to hunt for his victims.
I hate that terminology.
Hunting?
Yeah,
it's I tried to think of other things, but there's honestly
I know
no
it's just
other
like
word
the
for
official
it.
terminology, and like it is what they do. Like they consider it hunting, but like that just I don't know, just like
I don't like regular
it just
hunting.
breaks my heart.
Regular animal hunting, let alone human being hunting. Like
Yeah.
it's fucking So as you go along Hastings, you'll come to a block between Main Street and Columbia. If you guys don't know where that is not good. It's pretty notorious for being a gathering area for drug dealers and people who have unchecked addiction. Mm-hmm. There's the Sunrise Hotel, which seems to be the center, which is still open, where often the workers at the hotel would tell stories about how they would sweep up used needles off of the dance floor after live shows. Across from the Sunrise is Brandy's, a bar where you can watch porn on the big screen as you drink. And other bars known for their hardcore clientele included the Pennsylvania, the Regent, the Balmoral, and most of these places.
The Balmoral, oh my god.
Yeah.
I think that one's closed now.
As I say, I think most of them are still open. There's only a few, like the
Balmoral just closed recently.
Yeah, I think it closed like around COVID, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these places, almost all were still open, which is crazy to me. But whatever. So,
I mean, I'm not surprised. Who the hell else would put a business there?
Honestly,
if they left, like,
I was gonna say another one would just
what are you gonna
open.
lease the space?
Yeah.
Like,
No.
People are gonna be like,
can you imagine bringing a black light in there?
Yeah, it'll be
God.
like the Balmoral, but with a purple sign. Like that'll be the only difference.
Yeah, that's it. Due to the unseemly nature of the patrons in these establishments, Gilbert blended right in, with the added bonus of, in comparison to the rougher looking people he was surrounding himself with, he seemed harmless and even friendly. Mm-hmm. It was all too easy for him to find women who were down on their luck and would welcome a free drink and a kind smile.
Fuck you, Gilbert.
Yeah, fuck you.
Fucking douche. The people on East Hastings are quite possibly the most vulnerable people.
Yeah.
In all of Vancouver.
Absolutely.
Like, genuinely.
Yeah, and honestly, like, it gets a really bad rep, but I personally, I mean, it's not like I hang out down there. But anytime I've been down there, I feel like they're some of the kindest people.
Like, the people aren't awful, but, like, they get just such an awful stigma, and
yeah,
just breaks my heart.
And it's hard because, you know, there are a few people who will go up to you and, like, ask you for money or do this or do that. But that's not everyone, and that's not even most of them. Mm-hmm. And most of them are just people. Like that, I think that's what it comes down. They're just people. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, it gets worse from here. So between 1980 and 1987, Jordan would go on to kill 7 women. 3 of these were lured back to his barber shop, where he would pressure them to drink more and more until they passed out. 3 Indigenous women were found dead in his barber shop. These were all ruled accidental, and he was never charged with a single crime.
In his fucking barber shop?
In his barber shop, 3 of them. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
That makes me so angry.
And again, this isn't even the first time this has happened.
Yeah.
Or the first 3 times even. The others were found in hotels. Finally, police took notice after Gilbert's 6th murder, who was a woman named Vanessa Buckner. She was white.
Oh, yeah, that'd fucking do it, hey?
And there's a little bit of back and forth about this. Some people say that she occasionally participated in sex work. Others say that she never did. And she was found dead in a room at the Niagara Hotel in 1987. Buckner was not known to be a heavy drinker. However, at the time of her death, her blood alcohol content was 0.91%.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That's twice the amount that you can die from drinking.
That's insane.
Yeah.
What the fuck? How do you even, like, I mean, I don't want to know. I mean, I do kind of want to know. But, like, how do you get somebody to ingest that?
Oh, it's coming up in, like, 2
unconscious?
minutes, girl.
Okay.
Don't you even worry, it's happening. So all of these things paired with family members of the victim pressuring police to investigate, all of these things paired with family members of the victim pressuring police finally caused them to investigate Gilbert. Later, when questioned in court, he admitted to poisoning her with alcohol, sexually assaulting her, and leaving her to die as black fluid oozed out of her nose and mouth.
He admitted to it?
In court.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, no. What?
But just by how far we're in, I'm assuming nothing happens. We're only like 10 minutes.
Something happens.
Okay, good. Okay. I'll shut up.
No, it's okay. You're not going to be happy at the end of the story. So Gilbert was, funny enough, was the one who ended up exposing himself as her killer, as he made an anonymous phone call to the police telling them about her death. But he's a fucking idiot because the police tracked the phone call to a room at the Marble Arch Hotel that he had rented under his name. So, anyways, yes, so police tracked the phone call to a room at the Marble Arch Hotel he had rented under his name. However, nothing happened. They're just investigating at this point because apparently, somehow, they don't have enough to convict him. So a month later, they've been following him throughout this time, but a month later, an Indigenous woman named Edna Shade was found dead in a hotel room with Gilbert's fingerprints found on a vodka bottle and a few glasses in the room. With this new information, the police tailed Gilbert for the next week, and in this time they were able to record on tape him taking at least 4 more potential victims into hotel rooms. And during this time, he was recorded saying things like, "Have a drink. Down the hatch, baby. $20 if you drink it right down. See if you're a real woman. Finish that drink. You need another drink. I'll give you $50 if you can take it. I'll give you $10, $20, $50, whatever you want. Come on, I want to see if you get it all down. If you get it all down, I'll give you $50. I told you that. If you finish this, I'll give you $75. Finish your drink, I'll give you $20. That kind of thing." Fortunately, police were able to rescue all 4 of these women.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so these women's names are Rosemary Wilson. When the police found her at the Balmoral Hotel, her blood alcohol level was 0.52%. Verna Chartrand, who's found at the Pacific Hotel, her blood alcohol level was 0.43%. Shyla Joe, who they found at the Rainbow Hotel, but we don't know her blood alcohol content, and Mabel Olson, found at the Pacific Hotel as well, and again, we don't know her BAC. The Vancouver police finally burst in while Gilbert was with his final victim. I can't help it.
Gilbert.
Now that I've said it like twice, it's just gonna keep happening. He deserves a stupid-ass name like Gilbert anyways. Anywho, the police finally burst in while Gilbert was in with his final victim. She was already unconscious when they got there, and we find out how their blood alcohol content was so insanely high because he was on top of her, literally pouring vodka down her throat.
Fuck you, Gilbert.
Fuck you, Gilbert. Gilbert Paul Jordan was arrested on October 23rd and was charged with the murder of 7 women, but was only convicted of 1.
Of course.
Guess who it was?
The white woman.
The white woman,
Yeah.
Vanessa Lee Buckner. Gilbert was sentenced to 15 years for manslaughter. This sentence was appealed, and he won!
Are you serious?
Bitch, it gets better.
He admitted to it in court.
Oh, he sure did.
Oh my
his
God.
sentence was changed to 9 years.
Oh, yay.
The judge who changed this had this to say about it. Although the appellant has left a trail of 7 victims, the last was the first occasion when persons in authority, in a forceful and realistic manner, brought to the appellant's attention the fact that supplying substantial quantities of liquor to women who were prepared to drink with him as contributing cause of their deaths, for which he might be held criminally responsible.
What's the judge's name? I just want to talk.
Right? Oh my god.
Also, can I take a wild guess here and say that it was a male judge? I'm just...
It sure fucking was.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Jesus. He only ended up serving 6 of those 9 years. So this is the equivalent of less than 1 year for every woman that he murdered.
Also, not only that, he admitted to it.
Yeah, he dead ass.
And then there was still 4 more victims after he admitted to it. What the fuck?
So after he was released, he was placed on probation and was confined to living on Vancouver Island. In the year 2000, Gilbert quietly tried to change his name from Gilbert Paul Jordan to Paul Pierce.
I was like, was he gonna just change it back?
Yeah, no, yeah. I like that one better now.
We'll just keep jumping back between the two.
Yeah. So basically doing this would ensure that if he were stopped by police, they could not connect him to his passive rape and manslaughter, and he would be totally free to hurt more women. And at this time, in the year 2000, a name change in British Columbia did not require fingerprints or a criminal record check.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That wasn't that long ago. Like, I know
Literally
it was 20 years ago.
That's not long enough ago.
No.
So basically, this legal notice, because he is, of course, an offender and he is on probation, they do have to print it somewhere. So it appeared in a small legal notice in the classified pages of a Victoria magazine. Luckily, though, authorities saw this, they jumped in and did change the loophole. So he withdrew his application.
Okay, good.
So because of this situation, you do now have to get a criminal record check, and you have to be fingerprinted in order to have a name change. As far as I know. That's what the internet said, but I've never changed my name, so. In 2002, Gilbert was once again arrested as he was found drinking and in the presence of a woman while in possession of alcohol, both of which were parole violations. He was found guilty and was sentenced to 15 months in jail with 3 years of probation upon release. In 2004, Gilbert was arrested in Winnipeg after being identified in conjunction with a binge drinking incident at the York Hotel in Swift Current, involving a woman named Barb Buckley. Barb was a live-in guest at the hotel and had a serious drinking problem. She was taken to the hospital by her friend, who found her in really bad shape. At the hospital, Barb identified Gilbert as being there. All of this being said, though, he was acquitted in 2005. After he was acquitted, the police did issue a public warning, which said, Jordan Gilbert Paul, age 73, is the subject of this alert. Jordan is 175 centimeters, or 5'9", and weighs 79 kilograms, which is 174 pounds. He is partially bald with gray hair and a gray goatee. He has blue eyes and wears glasses. Jordan is currently in the Victoria area, but has no fixed address. Jordan has a significant criminal record, including manslaughter and indecent assault of a female. He uses alcohol to lure his victims. Jordan's target group is adult females. Jordan is subject to court-ordered conditions, including abstain absolutely from the consumption of alcohol, not to be in the company of any female person, any female person of persons in any place. This is literally copy and paste from the police website, so I'm not sure what the typo is. In any place where alcohol is being either consumed of or possessed by that person. If you observe the subject in violation of any of the above conditions, please call the Saanich Police Department at phone number, or call 911 or your local police agency. If you have questions concerning the public notice process, please contact the BC Corrections Branch. So Gilbert Paul Jordan died a free man in 2006 at the age of 75 of natural causes after no real justice having been served for the 10 women that he murdered. His most well-known quote is from an interview while briefly incarcerated with the Vancouver Sun. He's about his victims. He said they were all on their last legs. I didn't give a damn who I was with. I mean, we're all dying sooner or later.
Oh. That makes me so angry.
Yep. Honestly,
wow.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
This makes me like so angry, and like because like I don't know. I understand the stigma around addiction, don't get me wrong. I absolutely understand.
Mm-hmm.
But
it doesn't mean
it's a
that
disease. It's a disease. It's not like something you can control.
And it doesn't mean that you deserve to be murdered.
Yeah.
And have nothing done about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how they are still people. I don't know how much clearer I can be.
I can guarantee you they were not on their fucking last legs.
Yeah.
It might seem like it, and like they might not be well right now, but they're not on their fucking last legs, and it's also not your. I mean, like, I know he's a killer, but like it's not your place to determine that.
Yeah. Well, this is just a story of a fucking loser with a god complex.
Yeah.
Like he thinks that he deserves to decide. And saying we all die sooner or later, like, yeah, but you don't get to pick that.
Yeah. That doesn't mean you get to choose when I die.
Yeah.
Like.
And so, 9 of his victims were Indigenous. Most of them were sex workers, although not all of them. And then the one, Vanessa Lee Buckner, who was, of course, white. And I do want to say, I feel like we were going pretty hard on of course, it was the white woman, which, don't get me wrong, I stand by because it's true. But I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm not saying that she didn't deserve justice. That's not what I'm saying. It's just, I don't know.
Of course, that was what tipped off the start of an investigation. And
even the fact that he's, like, even after literally saying they were all on their last legs, I didn't give a damn who I was with, they're all dying sooner or later, he still was only convicted of the only white woman he murdered. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, it doesn't surprise me. Because, I mean, we all know that there's a racism issue with our Indigenous people here, but it just makes me so fucking mad. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I just don't. Yeah.
It's a fucking double whammy. It's like,
yeah. Because
it shows how our justice system doesn't give a shit about Indigenous people, nor does it give a shit about people with fucking addiction problems.
sex workers, anyone down
all
there.
That.
Yeah.
Just the downtown east side in general. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to look like you have a fucking addiction. If you're down there, you're being profiled.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're hanging out down there, I should say.
Yeah.
Not if you're just walking through.
Yeah. If you're walking through, you'll be profiled, but not for that reason.
Not by the police. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's... And I think that the reason that this one is so, like, I mean, one of the many reasons is that I had no idea who this guy was.
Yeah, I've never heard of him before.
He killed 10 women in Vancouver and died in what, 2000, what did I say, 2005? 2006. Yeah. He died 13 years ago, and I have no idea who he is. Mm-hmm. And he killed 10 women.
Well, this also just goes to, like, I think we touched on this before about how our media here, like, just doesn't fucking talk about shit ever.
Yeah.
Like, ever.
Yeah, and, like, and it's not even just me. Like, no one I know. Like, my dad, I mean, I thought he was totally not into this kind of thing, but he just pulls, like, murderers' names out of his asshole. He's like, did you hear of this person? Did you hear of this person? I'm like, no, what? Mm-hmm. No idea. No one I've mentioned this to has heard of him. Mm-hmm. And
I would say the only time I've ever seen, like, an actual, like, murder criminal investigation, like, heavily talked about in the media was when those 2 kids were, like, on a fucking rampage.
Yeah.
And it was the only reason why it was on the media was because they didn't know where they were, but they knew who they were. That was the only reason why.
Yeah.
And they had their photos. That's literally the only reason why. And it was just like a warning to, if you see them, immediately call 911 and stay the fuck away from them.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, it wasn't talked about until they knew who they were.
And like, I definitely would say that, of course, Robert Pickton is a big one that everyone knows about. But I've never really seen anything in the news.
No, it wasn't even talked about in the media.
Yeah.
When was he caught? Like, it wasn't. I remember being.
It was recently.
Yeah, I remember being old enough to actually to like comprehend it and be like, "Ooh, that's freaky," but like I wasn't a child.
2002.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, don't get me wrong. Yes, that's 18 years ago, but he's still alive.
Yeah.
And he's still in prison in Vancouver.
And also, it was only really talked about after he was caught. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really talked about at all during or before.
Yeah. Like, you know how in scary stories, there's a lot of, so Bobby and Sue, they were going out to Lover's Lane, and then on the radio, it said, serial killer on the loose. We don't get that. Like, we never hear that. I've never in my life heard that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like, and that was it. That was it for those kids. You're right. Like, that's about all I've heard happening in although, wasn't there a school shooting in Abbotsford a few years ago?
I don't know.
I think there was.
But I think stuff like that is different.
I think the only reason I found out about that is because I literally drove by the school and was like, why are there 700 cops here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's been like so many weird things where I'm like, I feel like it should be talked about more heavily in the media, and it's just not. Like recently, on like in broad daylight, I know it was talked about on the news, but it wasn't talked about on the news until like after it happened twice. In broad daylight on Main Street at like 2 p.m, like on 2 separate days in the same week, 2 girls were sexually assaulted in the middle of the fucking afternoon, like literally like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. What? Seriously?
That shit should be fucking everywhere.
Oh
the guy wasn't caught. They don't know who it is.
Sorry,
that
I thought you were talking about like a couple years ago. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, see? Perfect example.
I saw it
I have not heard that.
One news article. That should be something where, like, it's on the radio. Ladies, this happened. Be careful. Watch your fucking surroundings. Do not walk with your headphones in, listening to music, aloof to what's going around, what's going on around you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, I had no idea.
Well, then the only time I feel like things really are talked about is when, like, shit gets leaked on social media.
Yes, also true.
Like, there was a guy recently, and the video was sent to the police, but then it went viral on Twitter. It was like literally like not even 5 minutes away from my house. This guy was trying to break into somebody's house with a machete and a butcher knife.
I was gonna say, what about remember a few years ago when they found that poor little girl in the park by your house?
Yes. Yep.
Did you
that
see
also?
I was gonna say, I didn't.
Never fucking heard anything about that after.
I didn't hear anything about that in the news.
They, for those of you who don't know, Central Park, which is not like New York Central Park for people who aren't from Vancouver. It's
Vancouver Central Park.
It's like tiny. Our New York Central Park would be Stanley Park, but our Central Park is classic. There was a little, and Central Park is like.
It's like right by Metrotown.
It's right by Metrotown, and like, literally
right
like not.
By Metrotown.
I would say like
train stop away.
Yeah, I would say like literally like 2 blocks away from like my childhood home.
Yeah.
And a little girl was found murdered in Central Park, and she was like 8 or 9 years old, I think.
Yeah. And I only found out because you told me.
Yeah. Like shit like that. And the thing is too, is right behind where I grew up is a fucking school. That school is not even a block away from Central Park. Yeah. You literally have to walk up to the main road and you can see Central Park from the school. Yeah. Like that, I'm sorry, but like that shit should have been, you need to pick your kids up. Children will not be walking home.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like police, VSB, they should have put out a fucking notice.
Anything, honestly, at this point.
Disgusting. We're very off topic, but
we are very off topic. The point is I get that maybe you don't. Yeah, I get that maybe you don't want to cause panic, but also we have a right to be informed about what's happening, especially when it's something like that.
Especially when it comes to our safety.
Yes, and the safety of our children and the safety of our fucking community. Oh my god, I sound like an old person, but like, come on.
No, absolutely. Like that's the thing is, I actually that little girl when she was murdered, she like, I didn't know about that until my mom told me, because I used to park at Patterson SkyTrain Station, which is literally right beside Central Park.
Yeah.
And I would get off there and drive home. So I'd like drive to the train and then drive home, and I'd always be off late. Like, I was off at like 9-10 o'clock because I was working downtown, and I would like walk like 10 minutes to my car by myself, and I was like on the phone with my mom, and she's like, yeah, can you fucking be careful? You're literally walking right beside like where this just happened the other day. And I was like, oh, I had no idea. No fucking idea.
It's crazy.
And I'm walking there alone by myself at like the age of like 21.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
It literally, I don't have anything else to say, but what the fuck. Anywho, I guess
Get your shirt together, Canada.
Truly, we deserve to be informed.
Yeah.
And yeah, fuck this guy. And honestly, the Canadian justice system is really, really lax. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the kind of person who's like, I think that, you should lock someone up and throw away the key and say, fuck you, and that's it, like, I believe in rehabilitation too. But the fact that this guy murdered, I don't know, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 women, and served 6 years after admitting to it in court.
I also think
what?
Serial murder, there's no fucking rehabilitation from that.
Yeah. And also, too, even if we just talk about the quote the judge said about how he's basically saying, yeah, I know he killed, at the time, 7 people, convicted of 7 people, whatever. Like, I know he did that, but also a cop never went up to him and looked him in the eyes and said, look, Gilbert, if you pour alcohol down someone's throat after they're passed out, they're gonna die. So, I mean, what reasonable person would know that?
Also, what reasonable person would ever do that?
Yeah. That's the thing. It's not just like he was encouraging them to drink until they passed out. Like, yeah, he did do that, but then he went that extra step and literally was I guess
he knew what he was fucking doing.
I guess what it is that they can't prove that he did that to every person because there were no witnesses. However, again, one of those women had a 0.91% blood alcohol content.
Use literal scientific facts.
13 shots of vodka to get to 0.4. Okay? That's like over, what would that take? Fucking 13, 26. It would be over 30 shots of vodka. That's like an entire fucking 2-6. How could you act like he's just encouraging them, and this woman is at fucking, like, her 20th shot of vodka, and he's like, yeah, I'll give you $50 if you have another one, and she's like, yeah, okay. Like, that's not, like, any reasonable person should be able to figure out that that's not what happened. And that's what most of our justice system is based off of, is reasonable people.
Yeah.
That's what they say all the time, is that, manslaughter is if you don't take steps that any reasonable person would take. Like, that's not just me throwing words out. Like, that's your words. That's the justice system. So why is it, for this guy, why is it just, yeah, well, we didn't tell him not to.
We didn't say no. We didn't say yes, tell him not to. We didn't say no.
Yeah, and What? I guess maybe because he's the first person to do this, they just were like, no, that people wouldn't do that. Indigenous sex workers.
So you're telling me if I had like
much.
15 cups of bleach and I was like, I'll pay you $50 to drink 15 cups while I just sit here and watch, that'd be fine?
Well, and also, like, here's the thing. Yeah, technically that would be fine, but that's not what was happening.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. Because you would get to 1 cup of bleach, maybe. I mean, I've never drinking bleach, so I guess I can't say. But you would get to a certain amount of bleach, less than 15 cups, and you would not be able to ingest more on your own. And the only way you would get
be dead.
The only way you would get the rest of the 15 fucking cups of bleach down your throat is if someone would pour it down there. Like, I don't get why this is so hard. Sorry. I'm getting so mad all over again. I literally day before when I finished my research, I was like, oh, I'm done. And Dad was like, are you happy? And I was like, no. And I, like, read him the last sentence, and he was like, oh. Like, yeah.
God. Okay, for the rest of the season, I vouch not to do any more serial killers that are not in jail or dead in jail. Like,
what do you mean?
Well, this is the second person we've done who
didn't die out of jail, or who didn't pay for their crimes at all. Yeah. That's
only serial killers who have paid for their crimes from here on out.
And then even when he did go to prison, he fucking got a career out of it, and then he used the career that he learned in jail to kill more people. And 3 women were dead in his establishment, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's racism. Surprise! Yeah. It's racism and lack of care about A, sex workers, B, people with addictions, C, just people on the downtown east side. Like, it's just, that's it.
Poverty, race, addictions.
Yeah. Fuck them all. Apparently. Don't isolate that. I don't feel that way. I'm saying that's what they did.
They said fuck them all.
Yeah.
Those are the things that they blatantly do not give a shit about.
Yeah. Yeah, and, like, again, things are getting better slowly. So slowly.
Yeah.
But we're not where we need to be.
No. And, like, that's the, I feel, like, I mean, I personally feel, why is this stuff not taught in school?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. And why is, especially for me now, like, learning some of the things that I, quote unquote, learned in school, that I feel like the timeline needs to be more emphasized in school, because I saw a video the other day. It was a joking video, but it was that Rosa Parks could have seen the first 2 Shrek movies, and I was like, I don't get it.
Oh my god.
She died in 2005. Did you know that? Because I had no fucking idea. I literally thought this woman died in, like, the 60s.
1870?
Yeah, I had no idea that she was still alive when I was alive.
Yeah, this shit is recent, guys.
Like, that, and, like, to me, I'm like, you know, obviously, like, I'm not by any means saying that, like, I feel like that in school and stuff, they make it sound like it was, like, so long ago. And this happens so many, yes.
I didn't even learn about Rosa Parks in school.
Oh, I think I did in elementary school in Black History Month only. Oh, I don't remember ever learning about it in social studies, which is the Canadian version of history.
Can I tell you another secret? We didn't have Black History Month.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all. Yeah. You live in Chilliwack.
Oh my god.
Absolutely
Sorry,
not surprised. We did Black History Month in my elementary school, and I think we had a class for maybe an hour a day. Not an hour a day, sorry. An hour once a week. Like, even in high school, I honestly only remember learning about, like, the only, like, I would say racially motivated history, well, aside from the Holocaust, because obviously we learned about the Holocaust, but I only remember learning about the railway with the, like, Asian,
like the underground.
The Asian workers on the Canadian Railway. That's all I remember learning about that had to do with race in school, aside from 1 hour a week for 4 weeks. Yeah. So 4 hours for a month in elementary school. That's
enough.
Honestly, that class, like, and I'm not saying that, like, I didn't take it seriously. I didn't take any class seriously. In all honesty, I was a fucking stupid kid. But, like, the whole class, like, it was like we went to, like, a weird class, and the teacher was, like, kind of a bitch, and, like, she didn't really seem to give a shit about the stuff, like, she was telling us. It was, like, some old
like,
white lady also.
This. Yeah.
And yeah, it was like nobody really cared, and she was just really mean, so, like, it made nobody want to fucking be there. And that's literally all I remember about it. I remember cheating on my test and getting in trouble. That's all I remember. I don't know. I was only 10.
Oh my god, cheating at 10? Wild. Yeah, this whole case just brought up a lot of anger and a lot of frustration.
About a lot of things. Fuck.
Yeah, and I just, like, it's frustrating that we get so much information about why marijuana is bad, but you don't get any, I mean, I guess it's not the same thing, but you don't know when someone is literally going around murdering people. Yeah. Like,
and I think it, like, also goes back to, like, for some odd reason, like, alcohol is just more socially acceptable.
It's because it's been legal longer.
I get that, but, like, like
I don't think it should be. But
no,
that's
like
why.
legal or not, like just like, do you not see what it fucking does to people and like how
It
poisonous and
ruins
dangerous
lives.
it is?
The worst that marijuana can do is make you lazy, messy, and maybe a little chubby because you have munchies.
Yeah.
Like,
some
alcohol
memory
will
loss.
literally, yeah. Yes, I remember nothing. But alcohol will literally ruin your life. It'll ruin your relationships. There's a reason that there's Alcohol Anonymous, or Alcoholics Anonymous, sorry, but same thing, and not Marijuana Enthusiasts Anonymous. Like, yeah. Why are we talking about weed? God damn it.
We're on the topic of drugs.
Yes.
And how I think it needs to be. So we're on the topic of school, actually. Back to school.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that, like, racism should be taught in school.
Yes.
That it is still a thing. Not just.
Things don't get better by ignoring them.
No. And I have never learned anything about the awful, awful, awful things that Canada has done to Indigenous people through school. Never.
I will say that we, in my school, did do quite a bit on residential schools.
Are you guys close to any reserves?
We have 3 reserves in Chilliwack.
That might be, maybe that's why.
Because we did, I did have, because the kind of year that you do it for us was in the 9th grade, and I did have a really, really awesome socials teacher.
Yeah.
Who really did actually genuinely care about it too. So he actually took the time and like taught us. Shout out Mr. Allenson. You don't listen to this, but you're great.
Maybe you will one day.
Maybe. So like he did take the time and like really like actually went in, and it wasn't just all right, read this booklet, fill out these pages, and also fill out 5 good things that happen from residential schools.
Yeah.
That's a whole
I honestly,
topic.
like, I don't remember ever learning anything about residential schools. Maybe I've just, like, my memory is just absolutely shot. But, like, I feel like I would remember something about it, like, knowing what I know now about them.
Mm-hmm.
I literally do not ever remember once learning about them in school. And, like, that's honestly, like, so disheartening and, like, so upsetting because it does need to be taught. And it doesn't get taught at home. Like, the only reason that I found out is through my own personal research and having met people later in my life who are like Indigenous and Black and Asian, like all these different people. Like that's the only reason that I know what I know now. I didn't learn any of this shit in school.
I even want to add into that somebody who I know, I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to call them out. Well, and it's not even calling them out. I'm just not going to say a name. But somebody who went to university, probably like 10 to maybe even a little bit more than that. Yeah, like maybe like 15 years ago, took a course on residential schools. And when I was talking to them about residential schools, because, you know, every once in a while this topic does come up, and it's something that I feel strongly about because, I mean, they're awful. Yeah. Obviously. They didn't believe me. Because when they went to school, they didn't learn anything about that, about the really awful side of things. Like, they weren't taught, like, it was great and fun or anything like that. But when I was talking about, like,
they were just
literal
like
rape and having needles stuck through your fucking tongue because you're speaking your native language, no idea. Yeah. And they were like, no, I took a course on this. Like, that didn't happen. I was like, no, it fucking did. And that was at the University of Fraser Valley about probably 15 years ago. So that's crazy. And then you heard about that also don't come for me when I said say 5 nice things that happen from residential schools, because I said that pointedly because as most people probably know by now, in Abbotsford, that was an actual question on an actual worksheet about residential schools.
Really?
Yeah. An actual
teacher. I like that you said most of you probably know by now.
Yeah, most of you. Not you, Danica.
Well, taken these Abbotsford exams.
Most of the people who listen to our podcast are from here. Shout out to the people who are not from here, but most of them are from here. And it's been big. It's been all over Instagram, and there have been news articles about it. And yeah, a teacher in Abbotsford just sent home a worksheet with an Indigenous child, no less, that asks them to put down 5 good things that came from residential schools.
Like recently?
Yeah, like literally 2 weeks ago.
Nothing. The answer is nothing.
I'm so embarrassed. Just kidding. I'll send you the article. It's really fucked up, and literally, like, it happened 2 weeks ago. I would say, literally nothing. I'm dropping out of school forever because there's nothing you can teach me, you awful human.
Yeah. It would be, I hate this fucking question.
No.
There's
Even,
my
like,
5 answers.
I can't remember who, but, like, a celebrity wrote a response to it. It's getting big. It's getting all over because it's absolutely heinous.
Rotten.
Really rotten.
All right.
So, yeah. I think this episode really needs a happy.
Yes.
But before we do that, I just want to close it off saying that we are just 2 human beings, and I did my best with my research, and also, I mean, obviously these are really sensitive topics that we've been talking about today, so if anything we said was rubbed you the wrong way, I guess, please just let us know, because we always want to be learning, and if anything we said at all was, even if we termed something wrong, anything like that, let us know, because, yeah, like, I'm really angry, and I don't want to be caused to make someone else angry, and I'm just, yeah. You can dig that out if you want. Maybe that was weird to say.
No, it's okay.
But, yeah, I just want to make sure that how we feel was really brought across properly.
Yeah.
And not, because I don't want this to sound like, like white tears,
No, of course not. I think we
garbage.
touched on more than just, like, the race issue.
True. Yeah. You're right. All right. Well, I think it's time for happy.
Happy.
So I think you go first for this one.
Yes. My happy is in the oven right now.
Ooh, oh my god, what is it? I'm so excited.
I am making, it has been in the oven for, I think, like, probably 3.5 hours now.
Oh.
I'm making garlic confit.
Oh.
It's supposed to be fucking amazing, and I love garlic, so I'm into it.
Yeah, what
It's
even,
literally
I've heard
just
of confit before.
garlic in oil, and you cook it
whole cloves?
Yeah, you like cook it low and slow, and it's like a decent amount of oil. So then at the end, you take the garlic out of the oil, and you have this like beautiful buttery garlic that you can literally just spread on things, and it takes away the really harsh like taste that garlic has. So you can just have it as is.
Good as
it smells really good. And then
my
also you have garlic infused oil for cooking.
Shit, maybe I'll do that because
yeah,
that sounds killer.
Yeah, I opened it to check on it, and it fucking smells
Yeah?
so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I remember vividly my parents, or my stepmom and my dad, when I was younger, just baking garlic so that they could eat it. And me being, like, my brother and I being so upset because it was, like, the smell was so strong that they brought us ice cream.
Oh my god.
Because we were just, like, miserable. And looking back, I'm like, obviously that was delicious, you fool.
My mom used to make roasted garlic all the time when I was a kid. Oh, that's so good. She put it in fucking everything. I think, like, almost, like, at least 3 times a week, she'd make, like she'd, like, slow roast garlic in the oven and, like, put it in her food. I was like, yes!
Literally, anytime a recipe calls for, like, 2 cloves of garlic, 3 cloves,
my
I'm
god.
like, fucking 5! Yeah. So good. Cool, so I love that for you.
Thank you.
My happy, I'm holding in my hand right now. So, Danny and her partner, Nico, sent out Christmas cards this year. It says here, Sage, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for taking on the soft pod with me. Here's to many more seasons. XO, Danny, Nico, Pip, and Frankie. Thank you so much. I love it. It's going straight on the goddamn fridge, right next to Lauren's adorable baby. This is going to be the best fridge of the year. Also, when one day I'm moving out, sorry, Dad and Des, I am taking both of these Christmas cards. Is it... Oh, you're going to get mad at me. Is it...
Pip on the front.
Pip on the front, yeah. Wow.
Look at the brows.
I was going to say, and look at all... Oh.
I know.
It looks like alien antennas.
I put Frankie on the inside. Yeah, he only has one whisker on each eyebrow.
Yeah.
And Frankie has like a million.
Yeah. No, this is good. I think this was a good choice because he's looking at the camera. He's giving it smiles.
Yeah, Frankie's
fucking like, leave me alone.
Pip was doing anything for treats.
Yeah. Oh, he was classic.
An absolute little prince. Did a great job.
He's sweet.
Frankie was
sweet like
a bitch.
His mama. Well,
yeah.
A bitch like his mama.
Yeah.
Her.
She gets it from me.
They each got the best part of you.
Yes, exactly. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Eat the rich. That was a smaller, I guess.
Eat the rich here. And educate yourself, since the school system won't fucking do it for you.
Although I will say, my sister is learning actual taxes and budgeting this year.
What the
like,
fuck?
For real. Yeah.
I never learned any of that.
She had to fill out a tax form, and she showed me.
That's
she's like, I don't
so
know how to do
cool.
this, and I was like, bro. I was like, oh.
That is so cool. I don't know how to do my own taxes.
Yeah.
I don't do my taxes. My grandpa does my taxes. And when my grandpa can no longer do my taxes, Nico does my taxes. All right. That's enough of us.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, guys. Thanks for... Oh. Follow us, please.
Oh, yes.
Follow us. We're Silence of the Hags everywhere. Instagram, silenceofthehags@gmail. Where can they find us?
Spotify, YouTube, Pocket Cast, Apple Podcasts, Anchor,
yes. So all of those places you can listen to us. Again, Thank you so much. So blessed to be in those Spotify Wrapped. Yes. Honestly, makes me so happy, and yeah, just know that we love you guys so much. And also, one more thing, I just want to welcome some of our new listeners that we have from, let's see, where is it? Okay, we now have some listeners from the United Kingdom.
Nice.
And Russia.
Cool.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Welcome, we're going international, bitches.
Woo-hoo.
I mean, we already were, I guess, but still,
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I'm manifesting Australia next.
Oh my god, yeah, okay, fingers crossed. My eyes are closed. It's happening. Yeah, so thanks so much, guys, and that's
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.